What if I told you that this was the new best deck? Welcome to the Jank Tank. I'm your Queer Rusty, and today we got a spicy little deck profile from one of our local players. Let's head to the shop. So we got Alek here top, King Fandom with a spice. Why did you take yellow Yamato today?
Because it just came out today. I saw that 1K boost and I was like, I love playing Whitebeard. My Whitebeard deck got hit. It's just like a mini Whitebeard when you're at 2 less life. So yeah, first and foremost, 4 pudding, searcher of the deck. You play pretty much all the big mom cards. Power Sparrow at 4, Cracker at 4. I like Daifuku at 4. 4 is really good because you draw a card on swing, every swing. So if he sticks on the board, then you're just getting that crazy hand advantage. Smoothie at 2. You're not drawing cards, but you are getting the 2K buff. Endgame came up today. I needed that 2K to swing 7 at lead. I had 1 life left. I took my last life because I know I was gonna win the turn anyways.
In terms of your 4-drop Big Mom stuff, is there anything you would change about this?
I don't think so, to be honest. These are all great because of the triggers. These are kind of just like standard cards I feel like you just play. The deck's goal is to get down to 2 life, sit at 6K power, and when your opponent swings big at you, you combo out pretty easily with your 2Ks. So we have 4 pudding, 4 Strusen. Could come up if you're playing against a deck with like chump blockers. I never played it. 4 Sanji because of Daifuku-esque effect. 4 the brand new Yamato. Yamato could come up too because of the lethal swing she could do. If you don't know Yamato's effect, when she's attacking, you take a life, she gains plus 2K. Kind of like Smoothie, but she's sitting at 3K power, so you don't have to commit any dawn to swing 5K at your opponent's lead. It's pretty good. 16 2Ks. Played 4 Broulette. So Broulette is just a great yellow blocker, literally because of the trigger. I find myself hard casting it a lot too because 3 is not very expensive to play. Decks like yellow, they can't really out it too easily. Black and red, yeah, they get out it pretty easily. She's been pretty safe on the board all day. 3 Linlin. Linlin put in the most work today. I was actually considering playing without the card just because I think the card's okay on paper. But when you actually play it and like in practice, I think the card's actually really good. A lot of the times my opponent was kind of forced to give me life. Once you start gaining life in yellow, I feel like you just gain so much more advantage because you have more opportunities for triggers. You just gain life, you can take more hits and get more cards in your hand. 3 Odin. I didn't play Odin once today. Kind of use him as discard fodder for my triggers. You could play without this card. In theory, I like its board presence, the double strike. And when he gets removed, he could pitch 2 and gain a life, which could come up, I guess. But 2 Katakuris, I'd take out 1 Odin, put in a 3rd Katakuri. I wanted to play 3 Katakuri, but I only have 2. 8-drop put in work against Russ when I put his Odin into life. 4 Thunderbogwas. I think it's better than Sovereignty. 9K buff. If you're at 2 or less life, you could put something else in your opponent's field into life that's 3 or less. So essentially deal 2 swings for 1 counter event. And trigger, draw a card. I think I triggered this card like every match today, and I drew like into more pieces. This card, the 8-drop, and then this card, the 7-drop, put in the most work for sure. I think the deck revolves more around these cards. The best turn 1 obviously is Pudding, because you can search out pretty much almost the entire deck, except for the Yamatos and the Thunderbogwa. My favorite turn 2 play is Daifuku. I feel like once you get this card established, start swinging with it, and you just keep drawing cards. If you could afford to defend it with 1 to 2 cards, I would. I defended this card out of 7K swings because once you keep swinging, it drives you more cards. He's gonna replace those cards. So in theory, it's like I saved it with 1 card because he drew me back the other card I pitched to save him. Once it starts swinging big at it, I probably just let him go. At turn 3, you figure you're at about 3, or if you're getting like rushed down, you're at 2 life. So that's when you're a good time to proc your leader effect. Where I found myself playing Power Sparrow plus a Broulette a lot. Against all the matchups, I knew this card was safe today. Like I played against blue, played against yellow, and then I played against green where I was scared it might get arrested, but also at the same time didn't really care too much about it. I think Power Sparrow plus a Broulette was probably the most operative turn 3 I had today. Turn 4, I thought I wanted to play this card out a lot today. Actually, I think Linlin was the MVP for sure. I always just got ahead in the game. Plus, she puts a big body on board. She's 8K. She's hard to out. Turn 5, it was mostly playing Katakuri and sticking Dawn on my leader. So once you get to the late game, you want to make sure your leader effect is active because 6K, your opponent really has to think hard on how they're going to kill you. And if they don't have it, then you're hitting them a lot next turn. I think my board presence was like very strong all day. I think there's only 1 matchup where I got my board cleared. I love controlling the board, so I play kind of slower with this deck to be honest. Then around turn 6, turn 7, I start going in for the kill. The bad matchups, I feel like the only bad matchup be red or law. I ran into law today and it was like scary. I know law could just take the life and then sit on their blockers. I think what won me the law matchup was the fact that my leader was 6K. It wasn't comfortable for him to swing for 7, knowing I had like 8 cards in hand that I generated off Daifuku.
What do you have cooking?
We got some Borpo Croc cooking up. New album drops this Friday. Check your iTunes, I'll be there.
Appreciate you, man.